Don't you dare advance time in this situation, Horologium. I would get killed for this. What is going on, guys? MJ2005 Gundam here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the high-grade P-Bandai TR-6 Hazel 2 from the Advance of Zeta manga line. So this is basically a Titan's colored wound wart with an extra beam rifle and an extra shield booster that can be mounted onto the butt flap. That is literally it. Now the butt flap itself is new, and I'm really kind of on the fence on the mobile armor mode with the shield boosters mounted onto the sides. Yeah, it is kind of nice that the shield boosters could be mounted, but at the same time, it feels kind of weird. Like, you have this compact looking thing, like a compact pod of the wound wart, and then you suddenly have this. So it's kind of weird for it to have a transition. Imagine if the wound wart aisle in nil, I don't know, the gigantic one that I will show right now, the gigantic one that would be, it may be released later on, I don't know, but if it ever would to be released, this would definitely be eclipsed. But anyways, it's kind of weird to me. And then there is some issues. Now, the phallic subarm, which I like to call this thing, doesn't actually hold the gun. It actually has an adapter which slides onto the gun like here, but then the adapter itself is quite loose, so you need to put glue over here and tighten the joint up before it can kind of successfully hold the gun right there. And then second of all, it is just the luck of the draw. The polycaps on my kits are loose as heck, so it cannot support the weight of the shield boosters. And of course, being anal about the symmetrics is just my OCD being triggered. But yeah, the polycaps cannot fully support the weight of the shield boosters, which is another bummer of this kit. But anyways, the mobile armor mode looks interesting to say the least. And yeah, it's basically just the wound wart with extra weapons. Now let's transform this guy into the mobile suit mode now. So let's take this thing off of the, this should happen. I will show you guys the transformation of the composite shield boosters because they have to be transformed. Now this thing doesn't serve a purpose at all, so you should take it off and pull this right out of the coin slots over here. Take this out and then plug the blade right back in here, and then you notice you take this out, you flip it around and plug the entire unit back in, and now you plug it onto the backpack, but I'm going to leave it off for now. So this is the TR-6 Hazel 2 in its mobile suit form, and it is exactly the same. Well, I say exactly, except for the butt flap. The butt flap is a whole different design, which is designed to house the two composite shield boosters on the back, and it has a different shape. Like, unlike the original turtle shell, this has kind of like a sleek shark design. So I'm kind of a fan of this. I still like the silhouette and the design, but it's everyone's different cup of tea, whether you prefer the Titan's colors or the original white color scheme. I personally prefer the white, but the Titan's color scheme does look good on this thing. The stickers, you have the one on the head over here, and the one on the back of the head. Then the eyes, which you can barely see. I think I may cut out eye holes just to make me see the eyes when I do the custom. Then you have blue ones over here, which are barely visible. It's just to give it some accents. You have the red with the yellow V on the crotch, and I believe, no, that's not it yet. You have the metallic green on the thick thighs, and the metallic green on the shark head. So not a lot of stickers. The blue stickers right here aren't really that noticeable if you're building it in the Titan's color scheme, so it's definitely not necessary if you don't want to put them on. But all in all, everything looks pretty good, just the same as the wound wart. For the articulation of this thing, it is exactly the same as the wound wart, so let me blitz through it once again.
Double ball jointed head, be careful of collisions. The arms are on a peg so they can rotate up and down. The shoulder pieces can rotate up and down if you so wish them to. And then the arms can go out right on top of the shoulder. They can rotate above the elbow and disassemble itself. And then they can bend at the elbow at 2 joints, but only the one joint is actually usable because it is jointed in the elbow right here and in the back. So it is kind of wonky to get things going, but yeah. With a little bit of fiddling around, you might get it into a cool pose. And then the waist is just pegged, as you've seen from the transformation, so there's definitely not a lot of articulation going on. The phallic subarm can move, and then there's no side skirts. The gigantic shark head this time can move. And then the legs, they do not have any independent articulation, so they can only go forwards, do some nasty gymnastic moves, go backwards just as so, even though with the thick thighs, go to the side, full splits. They can rotate at the hip, a double jointed knee, more for facilitating the transformation, and then feet, no articulation, ha ha ha.
That is it for the articulation. Now, this is not an earthbound suit, so I can understand the limited posing possibilities on the ground, but the peculiar articulation is still here, so I'm still on the fence, but it's still good nonetheless. For the weapons of this thing, of course you have the signature composite shield boosters, which you can mount onto the back. So here's one, and here's the second. Now, it will be kind of heavy because it is basically carrying 2 skyscrapers on the back. And yeah, the polycap of the back skirt joint is not really made for supporting 2 gigantic shields on the back. So yeah, Bandai gave you the stand that I used for the mobile armor mode. And for some reason they only provided 1 because it's still possible to send out the composite shield boosters, but then there should be 2 stickers, blue stickers for the blade, but I didn't bother using them just because they sucked in my original one. I did not cover up the tip of the blade, judging from previous experiences, so I just didn't bother. The blade is still blue, so why bother? Now, this is not the only play option. Of course, you can just fire them from the backpack, but you can still send them out as usual because you get 2 wires and 2 pairs of the crow mode legs. Let me pan the camera down here, and then 2 sets of the original claw arms that attach onto the shoulder. Now, I'm not going to show the combinations right here. I'm going to show a picture of me doing it right here, since I do not want to go through the tedious process on screen for you guys to see. If you want to check out the process, please be sure to check out my wound wart review where I've done that. So, let's move on with the review. And now, the next weapon on the list is the regular beam rifle. I think there is supposed to be yellow and red accents all over the beam rifle, but I did not bother to color them in since it's just too much work for me. I hasted this kit. But anyways, the beam rifle is just the simple blue plank, which, I don't know, the silhouette looks good, and there's a bit of panel lining options all over the beam rifle. The one gripe I have is the gigantic seam line down the barrel. So what you want to do is to basically not knock over the wound wart accidentally and mount it right onto the hand. But you do not want to slip the handle in all the way, just because if you slip it in all the way, it will get in the way of absolutely everything. So if you want to do like kind of like a neutral pose or straight shot, definitely do not slide the handle in all the way. But if you do slide the handle in all the way, you need to tuck the guard or the back part of this gun right under the armpit in an awkward position that I really do not know how to pull off. So basically do this, and now you're joining the marching band. Last but not least is the shield. Now there is a name for this shield, I forgot about it. It will be on the screen anyway, so it doesn't matter. I do not know if there's any special capabilities of this shield, or is it just like a regular turtle shells. But how do you mount it on the arm? It's like one of my most favorite shield mounting ways, or if that's even the thing. So you basically take the manipulator off, which can get a bit tedious, but what comes next is you tuck the entire thing into the guard like a gauntlet, and then you reattach the hand, and it clicks into place so it doesn't slide around anywhere, and it doesn't go anywhere at all. The shield is staying on the arm as long as you want it to stay. It's a small dinky shield, but it doesn't matter since it is not coming off anytime soon. And yeah, there's a 3mm peg, so you could definitely go ahead and mount in the shields of your choice. more customization on the P-Bandai kit, which I definitely appreciate. And then a pair of open hands. So that is all the accessories for the TR-6 Hazel 2. On the plates, you have the A1 plate, which has the original piece for the drum frame, which was recolored white in the new plates on this thing. And you also have the original butt flaps wings. Same thing on this thing because it's the exact same plate. And then on the A2 plates, you have the bottom part of the fake block right here. And then you have the original butt flap, but unfortunately you do not get all the pieces to make the original butt flap. Yeah, so for those who want a actual Titan's recolor of the wound warts, you're out of luck. But it's just the butt flap that's missing. All the other things are the same, so I guess it doesn't really matter unless you are that hardcore of a fan. To start off our comparison section, let's bring in something basic, a GM. Comparing something basic to something so peculiar is definitely a sight, especially when you consider that they are from the same universe. And since I have the liberty of having it, the TR-6 Woundwort, the base version of it. Now it is in the Federation AU colors, if you'd like to call it that. Is in the white color scheme, and there is the TR-6 Hazel 2 in the dark color scheme. Now I definitely like the Woundwort more, but yep, unfortunately, Now I definitely like the Woundwort more, but the Hazel 2 has the equipment. So if I can get a mix of the two, I would definitely go for that. So a white version of the Hazel 2. So that's going to be it for the review of the TR-6 Hazel 2. Except for the polycap mishap that I got, this kit is definitely a worth get. Is it worth the 280 Hong Kong dollars? It would be if it's unconsidered that the extra $100 is being put into a shield, a rifle, a different butt flap, an extra composite shield booster, and a different color scheme. Now there is where the money is not worth it. But I would definitely recommend this guy, and I would highly suggest you buy it if you see it out in the wild, or if there's some stock left in an online shop, which I highly doubt, but definitely pick this guy up if you have the chance. So thank you all so much for watching this video. If you did like it, please be sure to drop a like, comment, and also subscribe for more Gunpla reviews, Gunpla news, and all that kind of stuff. Subscribe to the featured channels on my channel page if you haven't, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out, guys. Bye bye.